Hi there. I'm Tamra, and this is Beauty Within the Soul. Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about self esteem. Self esteem is such a broad topic, it covers so much. So, what I'm going to talk to you about today is just a part of it. So, I do encourage you to go and look up some other avenues and some other therapies that might help you with your self esteem. Even talk to a counselor, and I'll get into that later on today. But today I'm going to talk to you about how do you build your self-esteem back up after someone or something tears it down unexpectedly. Has this ever happened to you? Please share it in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. Self-esteem I've been fighting with ever since I was a little girl. I've always had low self-esteem, but then I would work on myself and different things I would do to help build it back up. So then I would have days or months or even years of really liking who I am and knowing that I'm a good person. But sometimes someone or something tears it back down. This is my story. I'm not going to go into all the details, but since I'm talking about self esteem today, I wanted to give you a personal insight into what happened to me and what have I done to help myself get back on track and build my self esteem back up yet again. Also, please stay until the end as I'll be giving you a step by step guide to help build your self esteem back up. So, how do you overcome grief and sadness when someone you know tells you you have no personality and you're not a people person? But you know what? You know they're totally wrong. How does that affect your self esteem? This comment came from a priest. Yes, a priest. I used to work for a chapel, and this priest, who was my boss at the time, came back from being out of the office for a couple weeks as he had a mild heart attack. The first thing he told me when he saw me was that he didn't like me. I had no personality and I was not a people person. I mean, this came out of left field as I had no idea he didn't like me. I prayed for this man during the time that he was out with his heart attack that he would come back healthy and better than ever. But then he comes back and literally attacks me. I have always gotten along with him before this heart attack. We were always on good terms. I did go through a very difficult situation not even a month prior before his heart attack, which my self esteem was already in jeopardy, and I was trying to hold it together. But this comment hurt me so deeply, and I was shocked. I was numb. I went cold. My heart hurt. He never apologized either. This is a man of God who I respected because he was a priest and he was my boss. But at the same time, I do have to admit, I did not like that he was a very materialistic person for being a priest. But I never showed my distaste as he bragged a lot about being on trips he went to free of charge from parishioners who liked him and invited him on these very extravagant trips. And let me tell you, they were pretty extravagant. So to top that off, he didn't renew my contract either. So I was at a job. I was out of a job about a month and a half, 2 months later. I never found out why he came back from being out and said these things to me. I actually hated him at first, but I know hate is a very strong word. So I changed it to I greatly disliked him and I lost any amount of respect I had for him. So you ask, so how did I deal with that kind of hurtful comment? How did I get my self esteem back? Well, it took a very long time, years. I could not forgive him. And it took years of me talking to other priests, friends, and counselors before I finally forgave him. And now I feel sorry for him. Of course, if I ever saw him again, I would actually call him by his first name. I wouldn't say, "Hello, Father so and so." Because you know what? I personally denounce him as a priest, if that's a thing. No priest should say that to anyone. Anyone. Yes, he's a man and a person, but he is a priest and he took a vow. You know, with all that being said, I want to say and to let you all know, I do not blame nor am I bashing the Catholic Church. I'm a cradle Catholic, which means I was born and raised Catholic. I know a few priests who I love and respect. One of them is like a big brother to me. The Catholic Church is an important part of who I am. Okay, I digress a little bit. So, forgiving him was the first step in how I dealt with the hurt and trying to build up my self esteem. I also found some helpful information that helped me, which I used most of them, but I wanted to share it with you for how I dealt and with my self-esteem issues because at the time it was not only from him saying what he said, but from the situation that happened about maybe 3 to 4 weeks before then. Issues whether they stem from, self-esteem issues whether they stem from somebody telling you something or something that happened, you know, things all kinds of things can make your self-esteem plummet. So, these are some things that helped me throughout the years. And unfortunately, it took me years to get over this. And matter of fact, it's been about 15 years, but it took me a good probably 6 to 8 years to find forgiveness. But you know what? I'm so glad I found the forgiveness because it helped. It's normal to feel grief and sadness and anger or confusion. I acknowledged the hurt without judging it. Took me a bit, but I did. I tried not to shame myself for being affected. Emotional pain emotional pain is very, very real. I consider the source. Is this person someone who understands me? The real me? Do they typically lift people up or tear them down? Could their words reflect more about them than you? Often, people lash out or label others harshly or projecting their own issues. And during that time frame of when this all happened, and the situation that happened a few weeks before, there was so much that went on that he was the kind of person that listened to gossip and listened to untruths without confronting the other person one on one to find the truth. He would listen to the gossip. He had issues. So the third thing that I also did was, and I also want to convey to you, you do have a personality. Affirm what you know about yourself. You're a person with value and depth. I wrote in a journal, and some things I wrote are moments when people appreciated me, the compliments I received, and the things that made me uniquely me. Let your truth be louder than someone else's opinion. Also, number 4, don't take the bait. Do not take the bait. You do not need to convince them that they are wrong. That only gives their comment power. I responded with this situation with dignity, which was my silence towards the priest. It helped me form a strength within me, and it will you too. You can also tell the person, you know what, I disagree, but I don't need your approval to know my worth. I wish I said this, but at the time I was so numb. Number 5, I practice emotional boundaries. This means imagine their words are like a package. You don't have to accept it. You can return to sender. Go away. Not mine to carry. It's not your that package is not mine to carry. And I did that. I reached out to people who saw me, really saw me. I talked with my best friend, a couple of priests, and a counselor. You can also talk to family members or even a mentor. Ask them these questions. How would you describe my personality? You will likely get a reality check that lifts you up. Use it as fuel for growth. Let this be the moment you double down on being your authentic self, not someone else's narrow version of who you should be. People with real personalities don't always fit easily in every crowd. That's what makes them memorable. I also wanted to give you a step by step guide to build your self esteem. I found this guide recently, and I actually did some of these exercises when I was going through the last big thing that kind of plummeted my self esteem. And so I wanted to share it with you because I think it's a great activity. So I hope you'll write it down. And I'm going to go ahead and type it out and put it in this description. I think it's over to the side. So look at that. I'm not sure if it's over here or over there. I'm not sure yet with this YouTube stuff. But so, self esteem can be built. It's not a fix, it's like a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. So, step one, know your worth. The first step for building self esteem is recognizing your inherent worth. You are valuable not because of your achievements, your looks, or what others think of you, but simply because you exist. Start reminding yourself, I matter. I have value. I don't need to earn any worth. So, the action step to this is write down 3 qualities you like about yourself, even the small ones, and repeat them daily. So, remember that journal I mentioned a few videos back and I recommended a journal? This could be in the same journal. Step two, challenge negative self talk. Most low self esteem starts with how we talk to ourselves. Catch those thoughts that say, I'm not smart enough. I always mess up. I'm not as good as them. Pause and ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? If not, don't say it to yourself. So, the action step that you can do on this step, replace the thought with something kinder like, I'm learning. I made a mistake, but that doesn't define me. I'm improving every day. So, step three, set small wins. Confidence grows when we follow through. Set small, achievable goals, even tiny ones, and complete them. Make your bed, go for a 5-minute walk, speak up once in a meeting. Each small win tells your brain, I can do things, I keep my word, and I trust myself. So, the action step for this, pick one small goal today and complete it, and then celebrate it. Step four, surround yourself with positivity. Who do you spend your time with matters. Do your friends lift you up or bring you down? Consume media that inspires, not content that makes you feel less than. So, the action step for this one, curate your environment, follow uplifting people, Limit toxic influences. Spend time with those that see your value. I've done this one just recently. Step 5, practice your self-compassion. You're human. You know what? You're going to mess up. Instead of beating yourself up, try saying, it's okay. I'm still learning. I'm still doing the best I can. Self esteem doesn't come from perfection, it comes from loving yourself through the imperfections. The action step that you can take on this one, when you make a mistake, pause and practice compassion like you would for a friend. Building self esteem is a journey, not a destination. Start small, be patient, be consistent. You don't need to be perfect to believe in yourself. You just need to start believing that you are worth living, you are worth love, you're worth growth and good things. Rem- Remember that. You just need to start believing that you're worth the love, the growth, and the good things because you are a good person. Don't forget that. Those are the guide, step by step guide. I hope you write those things down in your journal. And I know that I've already actually started doing this when I read and I saw the step by step guide. I'm actually doing this myself because self esteem, as I told you earlier, it can take just someone or something that can attack your self esteem and it can plummet. Pick yourself up. Do these exercises. You are worth it. Don't let anybody or anyone or anything tell you anything different. Please don't, because they're wrong and that's on them. That's not on you. That's on them. So I want to thank you for joining me on this self esteem journey and letting me tell you my story and how I have dealt with bringing my self esteem up. I still have my good, I'm doing really well now. And, but I started plummeting not too long ago, actually, right before I started this YouTube journey. And this YouTube journey for me has really been helping me and coming to you twice a week and coming up with these things that I've actually dealt with and being able to tell you all has been helping me tremendously. And then, today talking to my best friend, I was having a hard day today. And I really do think that the devil is trying to bring me down because of the videos that I've been doing and trying to attack me. But God's not having it. God is saying, you're doing this for me. You're doing this for you. And I am doing this for God because I know He's getting me through today. He brought my best friend to me today because she asked me to go to lunch with her. And so we spent 3 hours just talking. And she gave me so much insight. She lifted me up. And I am feeling better. I will feel better as the day goes on. But I just wanted to share that with you too. Friendships are important. People are important. So whether you go to a friend or go to your family member that you're close to, go to a mentor, go and talk and get that lift, get that wonderful lift that you need. So thank you again. Please subscribe to my channel, share it. Don't forget to like it and comment below. Has anyone tried to tear your self esteem apart? Or are you working on self esteem issues now? And what are you doing that's helping you? This could help other people. So I would really hope that you would actually comment below. I would love to read about it and comment back to you because I'm here to help other people too. So thank you again for watching today. Thank you for letting me sharing and God bless. See you next time. Bye.